Today's 4 Deep Sports Talk show is supported by PTU Clinic. Visit ptuclinic.com. Adria's Restaurant and Banquet Facility of East Bridgewater. For more information, their website is adriasrestaurant.net. And the Boston Athletic Academy at bostonathleticacademy.org.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. You are listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station. 1320 AM WARA and online, all one word. So I'll say it 5 times fast. 4deepsportstalk.com. We have the privilege of having the 2022 Division I Massachusetts Baseball State Champions, the Taunton Tigers, of course, from Taunton High School. It was funny, I was talking to Coach Blair before we get started. I thought I might have made him mad when he first took the job. I've been trying to get him in, so this worked out absolutely perfect. They win the state title, and we got the coaching staff, and I kind of know this kid a little bit to our left if you're watching us on the YouTube, Facebook channel. But, guys, I wanted to say thank you for coming on. We are expecting one call coming in to promote pro wrestling within the next couple minutes. If not, we'll just keep on going on. But, Coach, this is a good chance for people that don't know you, how as far as playing ball, where you play ball, where you're from, to a good story to get out real fast. If you don't mind, just giving your background.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for having us. Played at Taunton High School, went to Taunton High, and then went and played college ball in Texas. I started with Lamar University, played there for a year, then transferred to a junior college in Texas, and then finished up at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And then was fortunate enough to play a couple of years of independent ball, and got released, and I had an opportunity to go back to school for free. I had like a 2-week window, so I got released. Had an opportunity to go play again, but I saw the writing on the wall and decided it was better to go back to school and start a career. So I finished up and taught in Texas for 7 years, coached a little bit, and then had 2 kids, and my wife said she wasn't going to have any more unless we moved back up and had some help. So it's obviously good to be with family again. So we moved back up, and then 2 more kids later. Here we are, took over 2017, and couldn't be happier.
Now, that's 2 state titles in 4 years?
3 years.
3 years, right?
Yeah.
3 years?
3 years.
That's incredible. What do you think? How does that all work together, in your opinion?
Really good talent.
Really?
Good coaching staff. Couldn't do it without those guys. And really good talent like Ryan and a couple of the other guys. So.
All right. Now, should I refer you as Papa Bork or just Coach Bork? Or?
Whatever you
Here,
want.
slide that mic right over. All right. There you go.
Whatever works for you.
Here, just come a little bit closer if I can get you to the mic. Thank you. So, you've been in baseball a lot longer than anybody in this room.
Oh, yeah.
When you guys started this season, what did you see as a coach looking over everything to give your son, hit your input on this team coming into the season?
I was amazed with the talent.
Okay.
I truly was. And what a great bunch of kids. I mean, I would literally get there with a big smile on my face, and it would carry all the way through the night. It was just a pleasure to be around these guys.
All right. What about you, Coach?
I would say the same thing. Yeah, just really enjoyable to be with the players we had this year. Actually, all the years, we've been really fortunate to have just really great kids most of the time, or almost all the time. So it's been awesome.
Now, what about you, Ryan? Before I'm going to hand it over to these guys because they have a bunch of questions. You played with these kids either against them in All-Stars, AAU. You have a big brother you look up to that's just like you're a great ball player. You come into this season. You were captain, right?
No.
No. Oh, you're just an outstanding standout ball player as you were.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal leader. We actually don't have captains on the team. We just have really good leaders. Ryan was definitely one of those leaders.
Excellent.
So he might not have the title, but
he was there.
He's a leader.
Excellent.
Don't let him fool you. He's modest.
Even when he was little, Coach, when I used to ump his games when he was playing Little League, he was always that shy kid that had no problem putting the bat on the ball. Especially when Danny used to pick on him, in the dugout all the time. But anyway, what did you think? What was your outlook? coming into the season?
I've been playing with these guys forever, and it was just to do it at the high school level was pretty cool. It was just I've known them forever. It was just awesome. The run was great. It was a really good time.
Now, did you guys ever think about it and like, okay, we win the state title. There's no more games to play. The season's over. You know, it's time to celebrate. Do you ever think like, oh, well, again, I might have an AAU game, but I mean, this is it. There's no one can ever take that away from you. You guys are the 2022 Massachusetts Division I state champions. That's something they can never take away from you guys.
Yeah, it's a pretty good feeling knowing that you can't play any more games because you won them all. So that's the way I look at it.
I could tell when I saw the picture of you guys holding the state banner in the picture. You know what I mean? It was just so good, so jubilant to see everybody so excited and mission accomplished and stuff like that. It was really fun to see. All right, young man.
Can I just say one thing?
Please.
So, obviously Ryan is correct. Like, yeah, you win that final game, and it's a really good feeling. I know for the coaching staff, the way we felt, we actually didn't want the season to end. We have so much fun. You know, you just want to. I know the next day, my dad was saying how, like, what am I going to do? I have nothing to do. I'm looking forward to going to practice, and there's no practice today. It was so easy to coach these kids, and they worked really hard all year. And yes, winning is the ultimate goal.
Right.
But to just go out there and enjoy being with these guys, win, lose, or draw, was more satisfying than winning a state title.
Absolutely. 508-222-1320 if you want to call in and have questions for the guys in studio. I know the sports master has his questions all laid out, so go for it, big guy.
All right, my first question for everybody is, what would you say is the best part of winning the state championship?
I think the rings are pretty cool. Definitely the jackets, but just, you know, having the title of the state championship is ultimately the best part. So that's what I would say.
I would say the recognition with all the hard work they put in, you know, parents included, youth coaches included, just everybody involved. That, you know, if you don't win, there's still, you know, it's a good season, and you did this, you did that. But to win, it's a little different. You feel that extra satisfaction because all that work culminated in a you know, win on the biggest stage. That added victory definitely is a little bit sweeter. But you're not going to win every year, and you know you're not going to win every year. But I think the accolades and stuff like that you get from winning is nice, and they deserve a lot of credit. And you don't necessarily get that if you don't win the final game. So that to me is better, just as far as like everything that we're doing right now and all the recognition you get from city council and the state house and, you know, the school and stuff like that. You know, we should get that whether you win or not, but you don't necessarily do if you don't win that final game.
Yeah, that hasn't changed unless you're the champ.
I know.
Right? It's kind of sad, but I mean, if that's the case, everybody would be getting a letter from the state house if they make the tournament, you know. But to add to going with Justin's question, what did you two guys think about the whole thing?
I was excited seeing the kids get excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you should have seen him after he hit the home run, and after they won, he was just that was the most gratifying for me, and you know, being with my son.
Absolutely.
It was great. Being able to share that with him. So.
What about you, Chad?
Yeah, I think that Blair just made good points. When you just see them succeed after all the work they've done, and just to be able to keep winning the games, because at any time you could lose any of those games, even though our talent was just as good or better than all the teams we were playing. But you could lose the games. Just to be able to accomplish what we wanted to is just one of the best things. And the bus ride home is always fantastic.
Oh, we got a call.
Yeah,
we
first
do have
phone
a
call coming in.
All right, so let's see what we
See
got
who it
going
is.
on here. And the speaker, yeah, how you first on 4 Deep Sports Talk?
Hey, Dom, it's Richard.
Hey, Rich, you calling in from New Extreme Wrestling?
Yes, sir. I have James standing by with him. He just wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, sure. Please shoot him on real fast.
I got Dom right now on the radio. Hey, Dom, how you doing?
Hey, James, how are you? You're live on the radio here in our Attleboro stations and on our website. Can you just give us a little update of what's happening tonight?
Well, tonight we're live. We're live professional wrestling at the Bridgewater Vets Club, 85
Cottage Street.
85 Cottage Street in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. No retreat, no surrender.
Yep.
With former WWE star and legend, the leader of the Brood from the Attitude Era. I'm talking about Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior, will be on this action-packed card tonight as he's in the main event with the Beast Bull Dread. I mean, we got title matches. We got the women's tag team, women's title matches going on. Big 10-match card going on over here tonight.
Excellent. All right, so I'll text you. Say again.
7:30 p.m. bell time. 6:30 gates open, and tickets are only $20 at line. You buy them online, print out your receipt, screenshot it. That's what you use to get in, and it's $25 at the gate at the gate tonight at the event. And like I said, all ages show, fun-filled family entertainment for everybody. Come out and enjoy yourself, have a good time, affordable entertainment, and check us out at nwextreme.com and support your indie wrestling.
Absolutely.
And also, not only that, folks, this is our first live TV taping from Tropic Options Television Network. Heroes of the Ring Championship Wrestling coming soon to Troptions Television Network, worldwide network. We over 380 million people that'll hit, and it's going to be an awesome night. So come on down, have some fun, and enjoy some live professional wrestling action.
All right, James, thank you for the call, and I'll text you that name, whoever wins the tickets on the radio today.
All right, fantastic.
Thank you. Talk to you
Thank you
soon.
very much. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, that was James Allen from New Extreme Wrestling. We got that done. That was on the 5. See that, Coach? I pulled that off almost like I knew
That's
what I was
like
doing.
that's like one of the cheapest prices that I've ever heard.
Well, you know what? You might be the
$20.
winner of those tickets tonight.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, like that.
Oh, me too. I'm saying,
cheap.
too, you might win those tickets if nobody calls in. We're ready for our first break?
Yeah, we are ready for the first break right now.
All right, we're going to step away. You are listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station, 1320 AM WARA, and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. We have the privilege, I'll get out of my, Coach, I might get it right before the day is over, the privilege to highlight the Division I, Massachusetts Baseball High School State Champions, the Taunton Tigers, of course, from
Hi, this is Megan Chase of Jack Conway Real Estate. Jack Conway has been providing top-quality real estate professionalism since 1956. I take personal pride to ensure that my clients are happy with the services I provide. It is my job to make sure that you are fully involved and fully informed and have all the information to make the right real estate decisions for you and your family. Please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to be a resource for you. I can be reached at 774-240-7707 or via email at mchase@jackconway.com. I'm always happy to assist you with your real estate needs.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 4 Deep Sports Talk. We are here highlighting the Division I State Championship Taunton Tigers. And my next question for everybody is, what do you think the Tigers will want to accomplish in the future for baseball? I know, it's kind of hard after you've just won state championship. I mean, what's to go for next?
You know, just trying to keep we got a good young squad coming back. Not young, but like the underclassmen are definitely good at baseball. So if they can work hard and get like us, maybe they can win another state championship. But I don't really know. It's tough question.
How many guys are you losing, Coach, next year?
We're losing 5 seniors.
5 starters.
5 seniors. Colby Dakuda behind the plate.
Yep.
Colin Botello, who was hurt most of the year, was instrumental out of the bullpen. He was a pitcher for us. And then Evan Calley, who everybody knows was one of the big heroes.
Yeah.
Ethan Ross, who was injured, he got hurt in hockey. And then Jack Obin, who was, one of our leaders on and off the field this year. And, all 5 of them contributed tremendously to the success of our program throughout the, their tenure with us. So
now my next question to you, and you coaches probably, I know you know the answer anyway. So how do you do like a feeder system? Do you do something like that, like maybe through AAU? Do you reach out to the? I mean, that's a lot of work, and also like the Babe Ruth League in town and stuff like that. Is that something you try to get yourself involved with, or at least try to see the potential players that hopefully help out your squad in the future?
Yeah, I mean, obviously. The kids look up to a lot of these guys, and they know them. So we try to have different things where, last year we were able to have a lot of the younger kids come on the field if they were practicing, and then we just play catch. Just the other day we allowed, some of the teams on the field to practice. They just like being on the field. They think it's cool.
Yeah.
My daughter actually played Little League last year, so I was able to, spend a lot of time with Taunton East, and they played Taunton West a couple times. So it's good to obviously scout the talent a little sooner.
Yeah.
But we try to be as involved as we can. We do some clinics throughout the course of the year. So that's a different way to have the varsity kids interact with the younger kids, and I think it's cool. I know I looked up to the varsity kids when I was young. I think it's special. It's something that you want to look up to those players. You want those kids to want to be varsity baseball players, and maybe it allows them to work a little bit harder and improve their ability to different things, and they can share what they've learned, especially at the clinics.
Yeah.
They do most of the work, so it's good. It's a good opportunity to have them interact with the younger kids, and the younger kids to interact and see what it takes to be a Taunton Tiger.
Absolutely. Now, how do you promote that?
I don't know.
Just like on social
Twitter.
media,
Yeah,
like that?
nothing crazy. We hand out flyers and stuff like that. We usually don't have a problem getting. We try to get about 50 kids. 50 kids is a lot, and that's about our max. We usually do a good job of getting around that number.
Yeah.
Any more, it would be really difficult numbers-wise, and any less, it feels like nobody's there. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And they do a tremendous job of making sure the kids are all engaged, and I think we do a really good job with the clinics. A lot of quality for a pretty cheap price, and it goes to our program and helps us get stuff that we need.
That's awesome. What do you get? Catherine, I'm sorry.
That's all right. So you guys played against Franklin in the last matchup, and they were coming in on a 20-game winning streak. What was that matchup like for you guys?
We knew what they were like. We play them twice every year because we're in the Hockomock League, but we knew they were good. We knew they were hot, but we knew going into the game just we can beat anybody. So that was our approach, and it worked.
Could you guys see that they had a little bit extra swagger in their body English going into that championship game? Is that something you could sense, you think, or?
I think it's just against us because they did that when we played them at their place later in the year. Their energy was unmatched. Their energy was through the roof. And then same thing with the state championship. Either it was us or state championship game, which it probably was most likely. But their energy is really tough to match. But we didn't get like intimidated by it, and it was good.
Coach, what was your mindset going into that final game as far as knowing that you already played them twice? You already probably went against probably their better pitchers, I would think, because it was a conference game. And now you see them again in the state championship finals. What was your mindset going into that? What was your objective? I mean, your objective was win the game, obviously, but.
Yeah, neither team, we know each other pretty well, very familiar with each other, so it wasn't like we were going to do anything that would catch them by surprise. Just a matter of, who made the least amount of mistakes, who was able to execute, who's, we knew we were going to be in for a battle.
Yep.
Evan pitched the game of his life again. he was tremendous for us in the postseason on the mound. And I think the difference maker is, we were able to make a couple more plays than they did. Ryan obviously had a huge, one of the biggest hits I've ever seen in a big spot. But we had a lot of, you go through each inning and there was a play here and there that could have made or break the game. And, we were fortunate to have some really, good players on our team that made some tremendous plays. Dawson made a couple plays that were unbelievable. Evan was able to throw strikes and make a couple plays on the mound, actually, that really turned the tide. And, fortunately for us, they didn't really capitalize. They didn't have that big hit with guys on, especially early when they could have broke things open. Dawson, I remember making a play in the hole that really helped us out a lot. But again, Evan's pitching, I think, was what made the difference for us.
What about you, Coach? What was your mindset going into that game?
I felt like they were the favored team,
Yeah.
and I thought they came in a little tight myself. But after we settled in a little bit, and Blair said, the couple of plays of shortstop, really, unbelievable. Major league plays by Dawson Bryce. I was just blown away by some of those plays that he made. And, both teams were a little tight, but I think they came in a little tighter. They almost got upset earlier in the tournament.
Chelmsford, was it?
Yeah,
Chelmsford.
both.
Chelmsford.
Yeah.
And they almost lost the prior game as well.
Yeah.
I thought they came in a little tighter than we did.
Would that be more or less, you think, that they were like too easy, maybe already expecting to win those other games and they were able to squeak through?
I think they came in tight.
Yeah.
I think they were the favored team, and it showed a little bit, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dom, you asked them basically earlier whether that 20-game win streak had them thinking that they walked in with a little extra swagger. What I was thinking back here was that might have actually put a little bit more pressure on them to actually perform in that situation, as they needed to get to 21 straight, not 20-1.
Right.
So I think that's what ended up happening a little bit.
We saw that happen in girls basketball this year, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With all of Rams beating Norwood, and they were perfect. They were 24-0.
The prior game they had, the team that they almost lost to, I thought they were going to blow them away. But
Really?
they almost lost that game. They had was it Chelmsford they played?
No.
Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
They had the winning run on third base.
Right.
And had that run scored, I think it would have been a whole different ball game.
Right. Now, did you guys have a chance to police these other teams when you guys were done with your tournament game, Coach? Did you guys have a chance to go up and see,
Yeah, we actually stayed for the Franklin.
Oh, that's right. They had
Shrewsbury
that one
game.
location.
Yep.
Gotcha.
We
Yep.
actually stayed, so we were able to. I don't think you really needed to scout Franklin. We knew
what they were.
Tremendous offense, tremendous defense, great pitching. They're well coached. Zach Brown's probably the best coach in the state. So I don't think that. I love that. I love that. There was anything.
He's the best coach of the state.
I don't think there was anything that they necessarily were going to do that was going to surprise us. It was more or less, if Shrewsbury does win, I'd like to sneak a peek and see what they had to offer. We faced them actually in the 2019 championship game, so it was either going to be a rematch of 2019 or a Hawk rubber match.
Yeah.
Either game would have been phenomenal, and obviously we were fortunate to be in that game, and both teams were really, really good. You're not going to get to the Final Four without being a really talented team and well coached. So we knew we were going to be in for a battle, but obviously not knowing Shrewsbury as well as we did Franklin, and it was nice to stick around and be able to celebrate. We ordered some pizza, and
absolutely,
it was a good little bonding experience.
I think your father made a good point. You're at the top of the mountain. You got to be the best coach in the state.
No, I try to stay out of the way. I let these guys do what they do best, and that's
they get the best
what they do on the field.
He's being very modest.
He's very modest. Trust me. And this guy too. I'll tell you, he's a big part of the program.
Chad, let me run that by
ready.
Brad. I said Chad again. I'm sorry, Brad. I'm not even saying Taunton right, so I'm batting 1,000 today. What was your, again, like I asked the other coaches, what was your mindset going into that championship game?
I knew both the teams were probably the two best teams.
Yep.
But anything can happen in any game. So if we play them 10 times, we probably win 5. But up until that point, actually, since we've been coaching, they have beat us in every game that has mattered. So we've beat them before. It's always early in the season. The Hawk League championship is never on the line. And then when we play later in the year, when the game matters, they usually beat us. So that was just a thing. This year, I'm like, oh, we could win. They could win. It's just going to come down to, Ryan hits the ball 4 feet farther than their kid did, and it goes over the fence instead of hitting the fence. So,
Yeah.
And then we make the big pitches. So
Right.
That's just what it was. Franklin, we finally beat them in a game that mattered, and it was awesome. It was better than beating any of the other teams because they have been the best, and you have to beat the best if you want to be the best.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah, I feel like having that build up too, where you didn't actually beat them in the important games before, you probably came out of this game like, we need this one. This is the one that actually matters for everything. Then I think we're about ready for a second break, Dom. So you want to take it away?
Sure. You're listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station, 1320 AM WARA, and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. The Division I state champions from Taunton are here. We'll be right back with more right after this.
A popular destination, Adria boasts a breathtaking panoramic view of nature in all of its glory in each and every season. Upon visiting their 200-seat restaurant, you will see 3 distinctive areas. The lounge area includes their spacious 26-seat dining bar, high-top tables, and dining tables, all with viewing access to 7 high-definition televisions and 3 Kino monitors. A second area set apart from the lounge offers booths and tables to accommodate every member of the family. The third area, a few steps down and separated from the main restaurant by windows, is known as the Fairway Room. It is surrounded by a wall of windows offering not just a fabulous view, but a feeling of serenity and tranquility. It is a favorite spot for lunch, dinner, and functions. It is perfect for a romantic dinner, a casual family gathering, business meeting, or any large group for that special occasion.
Hello, this is Manny Del Carmen from the 2007 World Series champion Boston Red Sox.
World champs again.
Sports analyst for NESN. Along with my best friend Jose Diaz, we grew up in the city of Boston, a city that we truly love. Jose and I have always talked about giving back to the youth within our city. Therefore, we created the Boston Athletic Academy to move our passion to action. Our goal is to develop future student athletes in Boston by providing a safe location to offer educational and athletic needs. We are taking the next steps and looking forward for your support to reach our goal. Please visit the BostonAthleticAcademy.org for more information. Let's make a difference because success has no boundaries.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to 4 Deep Sports Talk here at 1320 AM WARA. We have the 2022 Division I champion Taunton Tigers baseball team in studio. So, my next question for all of you is, who is your favorite baseball player and why is that?
Ooh, I have to go with David Ortiz just because watching him play growing up, Boston hero, lefty, it's just... Yeah, David Ortiz is really, he's really cool.
I like it. What about you, Coach?
Oh, I go back to Kyle Yastrzemski. Yaz, he was always my childhood hero, without a doubt.
But going back, right now it's probably Xander. Xander's, I love watching him play. Probably growing up, maybe Nomar. I know I love Tim Wakefield throwing the knuckleball. Tony Pena, trying to catch like Tony Pena back in Little League. There's so many. Dwight Evans, I loved watching him play. I mean,
that was my first choice, Dewey Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was on the tail end when I was growing up, but yeah, I mean, obviously Ortiz and Manny and Pedroia. You could go on and on. Movan, forgot about him. Loved watching Movan play.
Oh, yeah. Big Mo, yeah.
Veritek I was a big Veritek. As a catcher, switch hitting catcher, I liked Veritek.
Yeah, he was unique the way I actually have his one of those replica Boston Red Sox jerseys with his name on it. I think it's a pro. At least that's what my second wife told me. What about you?
My favorite player was Ken Griffey Jr. growing up.
Ken Griffey?
Yeah, I loved watching him play. That was my favorite player growing up.
All right, old man, what do you got?
All right. Is there any, as far as like playing wise, is there anything that the Tigers want to improve on?
I mean, our goal every year is to improve. I have to improve as a coach, improve as a coaching staff, develop our players, especially our younger players, so that they can kind of follow in the footsteps of these guys. Our goal every year is not necessarily to win a state championship. It's just to develop young men into, better people all around, whether it's in the classroom or on the field. That's more satisfying than winning a state championship at times, watching these guys develop and be successful and move on to college. If I can relay some of the knowledge that I've gained from my father and other coaches that I've had, Steve Higginbotham's another guy. If I can relay that and have them relay it to their kids someday, I think, if I go back and watch a game and meet up with these guys at the ball field, I think that would be really cool and really special. So, developing relationships, that's always my goal, I think, every year.
Yep. What was the biggest lesson you think you learned within the first couple of years, taking a big position like that, division ball?
Character over talent was something that we really strived for, the first couple of years. As a coach, I felt like I had to know everything and was really over-coaching, I think, at times.
Yeah.
And proving to myself that I was worthy of the job and the title. Adversity, how you handle adversity, and dealing with things that don't necessarily go your way. And baseball is a game of failure, so you're going to fail. It's just a matter of how you respond to that adversity. Ryan's a great example of that. Faced a lot of adversity last year, put a lot of pressure on himself. We put a lot of pressure on him as a sophomore. Came up in a couple really, really big games and was not successful. And I think those lessons that he learned from last year really, I think, helped him this year become a better leader and a better player. His approach at the plate, you could really see growth throughout the course of the year, especially early on. And obviously, you couldn't have got a bigger hit out of him in a bigger spot. Right. So clearly, something's going on that the maturation that you saw from Ryan and a lot of the players. It was really special and really cool to watch. But going back to the initial question, the goal is just to continue to develop and continue to improve.
Now, Ryan, what do you try to instill in the younger kids? I mean, you're a pretty kickback kid, easygoing, excellent ball player, excellent swing. I've seen it for myself. What do you try to tell the younger guys?
Just play the game right. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Just play. I don't know. I don't really.
I mean, do you talk to them at all? Or do you show by example? What do you?
I think I show by example, like
Nice.
not being like cocky, but I think they know who I am, and they try to follow me. So
That's
I
cool.
just show by example, pretty much.
And Ryan's a multi-sport athlete too, so I think we've had a lot of guys, a lot of leaders on the team, and I think our best leaders have always been guys that play other sports. And Ryan is a leader on the football team, works really hard, and I think that translates onto the baseball field. And I think his presence alone is sometimes just good enough, and he doesn't necessarily have to talk. And his brother was the same way. His brother was more of a quiet, lead by example type of guy. He was forced into a more vocal role last year, and he took it and did an excellent job. But I think Ryan is still kind of developing as a leader, and his play on the field is second to none. But I think as he grows and develops, especially next year, I mean, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, obviously, physically, he's a big, strong kid. They've had a couple wrestling matches on the field, which I'm not always happy with.
Haven't lost.
What, a wrestling match?
Oh yeah, they like to wrestle after practice.
Oh.
Actually, I did lose. I lost to Joey Kaz.
Oh,
That's awesome.
It's good fun.
We have some wrestlers.
Yeah, we do have a couple wrestlers on the team.
What do you put them in a Cobra Clutch or something? A small package or what?
I don't
Full
really,
Nelson?
I don't know moves, but yeah, I always beat him pretty quick.
That's funny.
the Cobra Clutch, I think it's that finishing move that's in your mouth.
No, that's Sergeant Slaw, Cobra Clutch. You put 'em in
I wish Higgy was here. If Chad was here, he'd be able to explain all these.
You're thinking of another one, but we already had that interview with the wrestler. Let's move on. How are we doing for time? Good?
Yeah, we still have 4.5 minutes right now.
Nice.
So we're good. Then
So-
I can take a question if you want real quick, Don.
Please go.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I got you. So, Coach, earlier you were talking about how basically when you were going for the championship, it actually gives you a feeling of just satisfaction that you worked towards that goal throughout the entire season. You don't know if you're going to reach that goal until it actually happens. I wanted to ask, what was the difference between the journeys to the first championship 3 years ago versus the championship this year, so basically 2 and 3 years?
2019, we faced a lot of adversity early, and we kind of had to change who we were. We weren't scoring a lot of runs. There was one game in particular, I think we lost. I don't know if it was Mansfield or Franklin. I think we lost 1-0, and it was just we were struggling to move guys over. And I think our identity turned into, we're not looking to score, 4 or 5 runs in an inning. We're just looking to score 1 run in an inning. And our pitching staff was really good. So we switched from, trying to put cricket numbers up on the board to just trying to get one run on the board.
They definitely manufactured a lot of runs that game. A lot of small balls.
Yeah, so I think that was our biggest change. I think we started 4-4 and then just went on a run. And the timing of that run, we got hot at the right time and faced a lot of good teams, but a lot of good leaders. And we had a Nick Notangelo on the team, which was, obviously instrumental. And Logan, we had a lot of guys, Jack and Josh, a lot of guys from that team that same thing, grew up together. But Taunton's character was always trying, figure out a way to lose. Even when I played, we never won that big game, and that completely changed in 2019. There was a Super 8, so we didn't have to necessarily go through the gauntlet of some of those Catholic schools or Franklin and Mansfield, who was in the Super 8. This year is entirely different. I mean, from the first game to the last game, we were one of the better teams, and we knew we were one of the better teams. Even 2 out of the 3 games that we lost, it was 2 bad innings. The first inning of both games was really the Achilles heel. So I think the mindset of maintaining, similar to Franklin where they won 20 games in a row, we obviously didn't win 20. I think we won 11 straight. But just the consistency, just making sure you're trying to get just a little bit better every day. Whereas in 2019, I think we were just trying to get by that next game. This was more long-term. Like, we knew we were going to be good. We knew we were going to get a high seed. We knew what we had to do. But 2019, I was even surprised. I wasn't necessarily shocked, but I was, pleasantly surprised. Oh my God, we just won. All right, next game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we won. Like, let's just keep this going.
And 2019, you tried to put Ryan in the game as a pinch hitter because we had a lot of guys struggling, and Ryan was an 8th grader at the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to put him in. And I was like, he hasn't played a varsity game at all. And he's like, but his swing is good. And I looked down and I said, look down the bench right now. He's got a cowboy hat on.
Oh.
He does not think he's going in the game at all. If you could put him in the game, he does have a great swing, but he's not thinking he's going in. And,
I didn't know that.
yeah, and then this year, it was completely different. He's on the field, so
yeah, Ryan's the only player.
He was the only player that was there for that first run.
And he was one of those guys that just knew, like, we were having fun in 2019, and yeah, he did have a cowboy hat. I remember that. That was great.
And every win was like after the South final. It was like, the first South final.
Like,
it was the first this, and it was the first this. We were, weren't expected until we got to those last 2 games, I think.
And then we were like, oh my God.
We were expected this year to be in those games. They ranked us second, and we play the games, and you're like, all right, they're the better team. We can still lose the games, but it was more expectations for us, and that'll be another thing for next year.
Yeah.
The expectations will be even higher.
Making sure we're not afraid of our own success, and these guys have done a great job of, changing the mentality or the culture of Taunton baseball. Even when I played and graduated in '99, we had a really good, talented team, but we just found a way to lose, and it was so frustrating. And I'm even guilty of, as a coach, kind of continuing that and like, this will be the game. This is the last one. I might not have shared it with them, but in my head it was like, we're not going to win. But just because Taunton never did that.
Not this year, though.
No, not this year. 2019 completely changed everything, how I treated things, how I manage games, how I manage practice. I don't think I necessarily shared that with anybody, but in my head I was even guilty of, here we go again. Especially against Lincoln Sudbury in 2019. We gave up 3 runs in the first inning, and it just didn't look good.
Okay, yeah. No, we're ready for the third break, but real quick, we can pause it for one second. You were going really into detail there. It was perfect. That was such a good segment for a second there. Well, I was thinking, when you were talking about the 2019 run, basically, that sounded more like you guys were kind of surviving, while this year you guys were thriving in your situation. What it was, you were exceeding expectations that year. You guys were kind of the underdogs, had to come from behind. This year, you already had that reassurance that you could do it. You just followed through with what you had to do, winning another one. That's awesome to see. Mm-hmm. But we are ready for a third break. We're going to continue talking about this right when we come back. This is 4 Deep Sports Talk with the Taunton Tigers baseball team, the D1 state champions. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to Physical Therapy U. I'm Kelly Duggan, Doctor of Physical Therapy and the owner of PTU Clinic.
Here at PTU, you're more than a patient and we're more than physical therapy. We offer massage, physical therapy, occupational therapy, personal training, and sport-specific performance training. We treat people and athletes of all ages and all levels of experience. Our beautiful 4,500 square foot facility located at 75 Scotland Boulevard in Bridgewater, Mass. is unlike any clinic you've seen. Our large space, along with our new COVID guidelines, allow us to treat you in the safest way. Your success in meeting your goals is our top priority. Whether you're recovering from a surgery or you're elevating your performance, we are the right clinic for you. Call us at 508-697-2000 or email us at ptuclinic@gmail.com. Check out our website at www.ptuclinic.com.
Okay, and we are back with 4D Sports Talk with the Taunton Tigers baseball team. We were just talking about the 2019 championship versus the 2022 championship, and we're going to hop right back into that. Coach, right before we left, you had mentioned that you saw Ryan wearing the cowboy hat basically far down the bench, almost at him in the game. Wanted to mention before we move on past this segment, it's pretty funny to see, as we mentioned, the survival versus thriving that year. You guys were surviving by almost going to the 8th grader on the bench. This year, you guys thrived by putting now the sophomore, not an 8th grader, obviously, into the game, hit a home run, won the game for you. Now you guys are state champions.
Junior.
Oh, junior. Yeah, once I
wish he was a sophomore. Yeah. Have him for 2 more years.
Yeah, 2 more years. That's true. But no, junior. At first, I thought he was a senior when you guys were talking about the home run in the state championship game. Finding out he was a junior blew my mind. For some reason, started rearranging that into sophomore for a second. But yeah, the junior came in, who used to be the 8th grader wearing the cowboy hat on the bench. Pretty crazy to see how he came full circle this year, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, he was the Hawk MVP. Yeah. The Hawk is probably arguably the best league in the state. We had 6 teams that went to the Final Four in each division. So, it's loaded with talent, and he was the unanimous MVP. So I don't think it was to anybody's surprise that he can come up clutch in a big spot with a home run. And I think it goes to his humbleness and hardworking and determination, everything that you could ask for in a player. He does. He was 8-1 on the mound too, which I think might go unnoticed. And he actually got a big win in the postseason against CM. He came in relief and was able to shut down a really good offense in CM. And he does the little things, he does the big things, and everything in between. So, I mean, obviously we have a supporting cast that's phenomenal. We have, our whole infield is underclassmen, and that shows the depth that we have. And I think we'll continue to develop those guys and fill in needs as we can. But
I can see his on base going up next year for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
No one's going to want to pitch to him.
No chance.
Well, that's the thing too. Is we were actually talking. I was talking to his brother yesterday in the weight room, and we were asking about lineups and stuff like that. So we have a sophomore right now, so he'll be a junior who led off for us, and Braden Cowley, and he's a good on base guy. So I think he probably stays in that spot. Then you have Braden Sullivan, who's our third baseman, who's like a Gold Glove caliber third baseman who has a really good bat. And then you had Ryan, who, obviously numbers speak for themselves. And then you have Dawson Bryce, who's,
Sleeper.
getting Division I offers as we speak. So
Nice.
I think
Good for him.
the caliber of talent and the support that he's going to have around him, I don't think the other teams are going to be able to afford necessarily to pitch around him. And you still have depth behind him, too.
Yeah,
with
eventually you got to pitch to somebody.
Sean Cowley, who had a tremendous postseason, too. I don't think we've
AJ.
mentioned his name. He had a couple big hits in that game and a couple big hits earlier in the postseason, too, against a borderline Division I player. He's going JUCO, but Braintree's pitcher had Division I stuff. He's going a juggernaut down in Texas. And he had 2 huge hits for us in that game. So Sean Cowley's another guy that we have a lot of depth, and I'm really looking forward to not only coaching them but just kind of seeing the maturation that those guys will have next year.
No, you just worked me on another question. So this would actually get you out of trouble. So now that we mentioned the first 4 hitters and a pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Who else is on the roster? So we don't want no one calling you saying, "Why didn't you mention my name on the radio, Coach?"
AJ
So
had
let's
to
talk
get-
Oh
about
my God,
that.
we have
Right, let's
a
talk about that
lot of kids.
roster.
Like Peter Moore is a
Yeah.
guy that's going to be a big component of next year. You have AJ Lewis. Oh boy,
Andrew Cowley.
Andrew.
Oh, Andrew. Obviously, yeah. There's so many Callies.
Yeah.
Jack Calley will.
Yeah, you get the
who
twins,
showed
right?
Yeah.
showed glimpses. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with next year.
Yep.
Murphy.
Yep, Sean Murphy, who, sky's the limit for him. He's a big, strong kid. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank.
Your other junior outfielders that you have.
David De Silva,
Yeah, David
Brady.
Silva,
Brady Boucher.
How big's the roster?
We had 25 guys.
Wow. I should ask you to write
So
that
there's
down.
20 players.
Joey
20 players.
Joey
you're
Kesloff.
saying.
Kaz is going to be a stud next year. So, we'll see what happens. And
Right.
they know they have to work hard. And competition breeds competition, and that's
Now your
not a bad
coaching
thing.
staff, besides your dad and Brad, who else do you have?
We have Mark Masterson, John Clough, Aaron Rigo, and Chad Higginbotham.
That's everybody.
That's everyone.
And how did the JV? No, first thing, one thing I haven't seen in a while. You actually have 2 freshman teams.
Yeah. Yep. So Kaneski coaches the JV team, and then Mark Masterson and John Clough coach 2 8th, 9th grade teams. So
Yep.
we call it black and orange, and
Make
they
it
do a
simple.
little draft, and they split the teams evenly, and
Nice.
we split the schedule up. They don't get as many games as they normally would, but we pick up games here and there, and they each get about 15 games apiece.
Now, how has it been with the umpiring? Because I think you guys use the Brockton board, or no, maybe the Fall River board. I forget. And I was finding out that long story short, one of my friends that covers, who's actually helped me schedule the Cal Ripken and all that in Easton, he walks on the field and the fans start clapping. We haven't had an umpire at our JV game in 2 days. We had to cancel our games. Have you guys run into that problem too?
Yeah.
Yes, not at the varsity level.
Yeah.
But we've had to reschedule games because if there's a rain out and they can't triple book games. So that's the only issue. But umpiring is, if there's anybody out there listening that wants to be an umpire,
Oh, I'm
there's
with
a
you.
huge need.
I've been trying to get him to it since he was since he left Little League.
Yeah, we're struggling.
Yeah, it's tough.
And we're struggling to find quality umpires too. I mean,
Yeah, you want
it's not just the body.
consistency.
It's
Yeah, exactly.
quality too that I think we tend to get a little frustrated with. But I appreciate, I understand. I try not to argue balls and strikes too much. We won't talk about that one call in the game that was clearly interference, and we won't go there.
Was that in the championship game?
That was in the championship game. Yeah, he told me that he saw everything and there was no interference. There was clearly interference. The video does not lie. He did not see it. I was very, very upset. Still am. Still a little bitter.
He almost got thrown out.
Pretty close.
So what was the interference? Being an official that I am, I'm curious.
So the infield was in. There was a ball up the middle.
Yep.
Dawson. I mean, the video shows he probably gets to that ball. So the guy on second hits him.
Hits the fielder.
Hits the shortstop.
So it's a dead ball and it's interference.
So it should have been a dead ball. Yeah, the runner should have gone back to
Correct.
third. The runner at second should have been out, and the batter goes to first. So you should have had first and third, one out.
Correct.
And instead, they score a run. You still have first and third.
And he admitted, I don't mean to pick on another official, but he actually admitted he saw it.
He saw it, yeah.
There's a picture.
He was adamant about it.
There's a picture of the umpire looking at first base and the plays happening behind him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's bad mechanics.
If you didn't see it, that's fine.
Yeah.
I probably am saying too much. But if you didn't see
it doesn't matter. Game's over. You won. It's all in fun now.
That's all.
It's fine. But just all I wanted to do was ask for help. Just ask for help. See if another umpire saw it. We had 3 umpires. We had a 3-man crew. So maybe the other guy saw it and he refused to ask for help, which got me upset.
I would never do
And as
that.
I'm walking away, he starts charging at me. So he was definitely the aggressor. I'm gonna stop where I am right now.
Right.
Nobody cares about
See,
this.
that's therapy at
We ended up
sports talk show.
It ended up working itself out, and everybody's happy. Ryan was a hero.
Right.
So
But I know what you're saying. When I do it, I always, if I get 2 guys or 3 guys, when I was in the World Series in Phoenix City, long story short, 12-year-olds, I had 2 guys, hometown guys, Alabama, little kid from North Carolina, spun. The catcher got it. The catcher got in my way as it was too low, like an idiot. That hit me in the foot. I'm like, it did? I go down the first. I walk down the third base umpire. Nope. First base umpire, really ignorant guy. He can't listen anyway. Shakes his head. I didn't see nothing. I'm like, I gotta put you in the box. Kid starts bawling. Starts having a nervous breakdown in the batter's box. I was like, oh, this is on ESPN3. This is fantastic. The biggest jerk from Massachusetts is making a kid cry from North Carolina. What a hero I am. So that's why I get in my mind. I'm asking somebody. I'm gonna ask somebody.
that's all I'd ask for. But
Oh yeah. I was scared. I was actually scared of that game when I was doing high school games. I was like, oh my God, this kid's crying. What am I going to do? One of his parents are going to meet me at the gate.
But it fired up Evan Callie, and he ended up getting out of the inning, and the rest is history.
Well, I know I can speak for all of us at 4 Deep Sports Talk and the station at 1320 WARA. Congratulations. Thank you for coming on. Hopefully, Coach, we can do like a pregame show prior to the season. Maybe get Ryan on again and talk about your expectations and, going into the season, before the season starts, you know what I mean. But again, thank you very much for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Technically, it says we have 2 minutes left.
Gray? We're in the gray with 2 minutes left?
It's going to end in 45 seconds, I'm realizing, because it always cuts off at 1 p.m.
Correct. So in the gray?
Yeah, so, we got 40 seconds. Ryan, just going to ask you real quick. Do we have any future outlooks for either collegiate baseball or football?
Yeah, I'm actually committed University of Dayton for baseball.
Nice. Let's go, Ryan. That's awesome.
Yep, thank you.
Dang.
Yeah.
Full ride.
Good
wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you are smarter than your brother.
I'm not very smart, but...
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all set?
Yeah, we're good now. Okay, so we got technically 10 seconds, but this has been 4D Sports Talk, as Dom just mentioned, with the Taunton Tigers baseball team, the D1 state champions of Massachusetts.
Today's 4 Deep Sports Talk show is supported by PTU Clinic. Visit ptuclinic.com. Adria's Restaurant and Banquet Facility of East Bridgewater. For more information, their website is adriasrestaurant.net. And the Boston Athletic Academy at bostonathleticacademy.org.